Good morning, everybody. How is it going? Today we're playing Alchemist. We're going into the mid lane. Yes, Alchemist, a hero that has kind of been dying a little bit recently. You know, people aren't favoring Alchemist anymore, to say the least. But personally, I actually believe in him. I just think we need to go for a different item and skill build than what we have been doing. Now, this is a replay again, and this is actually going to be a little bit special. You'll see why in a second. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'll explain it once we're like halfway into the video. Alright? This is not gonna be a usual game, it's gonna be a little bit different. But yeah. Now I wanna kind of like showcase what Alchemist can do. And yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about that. Before we do that, really quickly, I wanna talk about, you know, like, am I still sick? Yes, I'm still sick. However, I am recovering. I feel a lot better today. I can talk, as you can see. I tried to do a live commentary, but I'm not that strong yet. I'm not at that point yet. But I'm trying. Now, this matchup, by the way, is impossible. It's actually legit impossible. Tinker is just far too strong for me to be able to do anything here. But we're gonna try to make it happen anyway. Right? Now, as I was saying, sadly, live commentary is still a little bit out of reach, but it should be fine within the next few days or so. I think I know what I had, or have, I guess, because even though the doctor didn't say anything, but that's just because the doctor that I go to, she doesn't really care about saying you have this. This is something I've noticed while going to her, because, you know, like, I went to her a few times over the course of this, and like, she does not, really, if you want to know, like, what do I have, you have to explicitly ask for it, else she'll just not tell you because she doesn't think it's important. So I personally think it's a little bit odd, or maybe she just forgets about it, I don't know, right? But, like, she's just like, okay, this is what we, like, this is kind of like what I think you have got in terms of, like, is it a bacterial infection, is it an infection at all, like, what's going on, where's the problem? She'll tell you all of that, she just won't put a name to it. However, I do have medicine, which is supposed to treat one thing, and really only that one thing, which is acute bronchitis. Which I looked it up, and turns out all of the symptoms of acute bronchitis match my symptoms. Right? It's all like complete overlap. So it's just like, oh, well, that's probably it then. Right? Like, that kind of makes sense to me. So, probably had acute bronchitis, so still have it. So that's fun. Sounds scary, doesn't it? Sounds really scary, but it's actually going to be on the way to recovery, right? Like, we're getting there. So, disregarding that, I want to talk about Alchemist. So, the thing about Alchemist, for a long time, people have only been playing Alchemist as this, like, AoE zoning carry. You get your Radiance, you get your Armlet, you get farmed really, really quickly, you max out the E, you max out the Q, you just grind through the jungle and you become big. Right? TP boots, Manta Stalk, Terrain Core, that kind of build. So the thing about that kind of build, also, by the way, look, that's the Open Angel Arena practice right there, you know, using the bottle. Yeah, you have to use a lot of bottle in there. Easy peasy. Alright, but anyway, this is super hard, man. Tinker just wrecks you, but yeah, I'm like, oh shit, no, Shrine is still on cooldown, you can't use it this early. I'm just trying to leech some experience at this point. This was honestly probably a mistake. I probably should have just, like, left and gone back, but I don't like going back. So, yeah, but eventually I'm just like, okay, this is just not gonna get me anywhere. I'm gonna go pick up the rune, because there's gonna be a bounty rune up here, I know that. Right? And I'm just like, okay, fuck this shit. Now, you may notice that I did a thing differently from what you would expect Alchemist, from what you would expect from Alchemist these days. As in, I went for my W, and that is 100% intentional. That wasn't like a panic reaction. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So they changed Alchemist, right? They nerfed him really, really hard. His Q has a small radius now. His E doesn't scale as nicely anymore. However, there's also a little bit of a buff to the E, to some extent. Well, not really. Like, it is worse overall, I would argue. Right? It is now a worse ability than it was before. However, it has one advantage. The value point at level 1 is stronger. Right? The value point is just better now than it was before. Because previously you only got 2 gold per kill, now you get 4. Right? And I think the cap at level 1 is also higher than it was before. So it was actually rescaled. It scales far worse, right? Max level was so much worse than it was. But level 1 is actually a little bit better. Now, Q is just unquestionably worse, but another thing that they added in recently, in the most recent patch, I think it's 7.06D, they made it so that Alchemist's W now does 100 more damage if you take the appropriate talent. So level 15 he gains plus 100 unstable concoction damage, right? That makes this a 460 physical damage ability. You have -7, minus armor there, you go for Medallion or Solar Crest. Of this, and you have a shit ton of minus armor, you can really do some hurt. And that is kind of the point I'm trying to get at. The Radiance build is not the only build of Alchemist. For a long time, there used to be an Alchemist build which was a lot more aggressive, you know, a lot more roaming. Support Alchemist was a thing for a very long time. It almost used to be the thing. Actually, I'm pretty sure it was the thing. Like, it's just like, you play Alchemist as a support. That's just what he does. He's a support. And how did you do that? Well, you got Medallion, you reduced people's armor, you used Acid Spray to reduce their armor, and you used the W to do a lot of nuke damage. That was the plan, right? And, well, that is the plan, right? Like, this is what I'm saying. I think Alchemist is undeniably worse than he was before. However, he does have an advantage, as in that I think the aggressive, minus armor, roaming, ganking build could potentially actually be stronger than it was before. Just because your value point on the E is better. You get plus 100 damage on the W, which is crazy. You just get quite scary. Now I'm getting charged again. In this game, I have to deal with a bad early game. You can see I had 6 minutes, I only have 25 last hits. Not for a lack of trying. Admittedly, I could have gotten a few more than I ended up getting. Right, I missed some last hits, and I'm unhappy with that. But it was also just a case of, fuck, I'm just getting zoned out so hard. It is so difficult to go up against a Tinker, because I have no way to last it other than just clicking on creeps, and he lasers me, and I'm fucked. Right? So what do I mean with this, like, aggressive Alchemist style? Well, we're gonna get a Medallion, as you can already see. And we're gonna gank. We're gonna roam around the map. Gonna be aggressive. Right? We're using our E when we are in a lane to, like, get a little bit of money, a little bit of a bonus, but it's really not the main purpose. It's just, you know, a little bit of an extra thing. But instead, we're just gonna try to fight and be strong. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this build ends up making it into the competitive scene. Because it is scary. Now, should Alchemist go into the mid lane with us? I don't think so. Right? Like, I think this is actually the biggest problem Alchemist faces at the moment, is he lost a lot of his mid-laning potential. And that is big. You needed that. But you can play him as a side lane carry and attempt this, or if you're going up against a weaker mid. Not necessarily a Tinker, but let's say you're going up against an Invoker player, which, as we all know, those are complete garbage. Not the hero, the players. Then you know that, okay, you know what, I'm not going to be under much pressure here, I can actually pull this off. So yeah, it's just kind of what I was trying to get at. And yeah, we're doing pretty well in this game already. I'm just sitting in the mid, trying to grind it up. That's kind of what I wanted to show you as well. It's just like, okay, you know what, we don't have a good time here. We're just really getting shit on, and this really sucks, and it's very unfortunate. But at the same time, you just gotta keep your spirits up, and you just gotta keep trucking along, right? You just stick to the plan and continue farming up. And you can see I'm getting there. My net worth isn't necessarily insane, but it is up there. Alright, like, I've managed to just kind of get money. So yeah, you know, that's what matters. Now I'm trying to work on my power threats, and I am level 8, so I can just, like, freely spam my Q now. You know, it's another great thing about Solar Crest. Oh shit. Yeah, I'm getting ganked again. It's just like, God, no! Get away from me. I don't like this. It's another great thing about the Solar Crest. You use the ultimate, you have the passive like percent regen from the Solar Crest, you just heal up a lot. Right? You get a lot of mana back. Generally speaking, I really like having a Sage's Mask on Alchemist. Just casually, just like as a farming tool. It's super good. The endless mana you get from that. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and put down another Acid Spray, and you can see at this point, the Tinker really just has to say, yeah, I'm not gonna really challenge that. Seems like a bad idea. And it does seem like a bad idea, doesn't it? Certainly does. So, at this point I'm just gonna go back, pick up my treads, gonna go ahead and heal up a little bit. And then I wanna start being aggressive because I have my treads, I've got my medallion, what else do I need? Right, like what else am I really looking for? So that's what I'm gonna be getting here. A bit of a fight at the bottom. I'm trying to decide, do I go top, do I go bottom? This is my difficulty here. Like, am I going top or am I going bottom? I'm unsure. Eventually I'm like, okay, you know what, we're gonna go top. See, there's our Necrophore is actually kind of getting shit on. I see, oh, okay, that's the Phantom Assassin and fuck off. You see, this is what I mean. Like, that was a lot of damage that came out really, really quickly. The minus armor works so well with the unstable concoction. Right, and actually with more minus armor, because that's the thing, minus armor works well with minus armor. And the cool thing about this build too is you're really enabling your team. Everybody on your team is gonna do a lot of damage. You know how when you have a Slaughter on your team, every single right click is just a nuke. Right, you put amplified damage on somebody and then you just click on them a bunch of times and then it's just fucking game over. Yeah, this is the same thing. Right now I'm reducing armor by 11. No, wait, what am I saying? 14. Right? That's a Slaughter ultimate. That is a Slaughter ultimate. Except part of it is AoE and does damage. Of course, they can run out of it, but you get the idea, right? Okay, there is a Sparrow Breaker coming in. I'm now up here trying to help out. Tinker in the mid lane, I'm not too worried about that. I don't really want to challenge him anyway. Got a dagger flying on the axe. Alright, Unstable Concoction is brewing. We want to get this one. I put the medallion on him. You see how much damage she takes. Man, that's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. And she's dropping so low, but manages to jump away. Sadly, the axe did not manage to get his Berserker's Call on her in time. And we have to just kind of retreat out. Actually, I forgot to mention one nerf to Alchemist. His ultimate now has such a long cooldown, but a thing they buffed about it is they made it so it now has more movement speed. Alright, longer cooldown, but it also gives you more movement speed, which is nice. Because more movement speed means better ganking. You see what I'm getting at? Like you're starting to see like the pieces all come together here. Alright. So we're up at the top, and you see this is like 11 minutes into the game with a weak early game for me. And I'm just ready to fight, right? And you can see us, oh my god, there's lots of heroes coming. So we're getting jumped. Oh, I'm on the retreat out. We've got a Berserker's Call from the axe, but it's not necessarily great. I start brewing the concoction, and I see like, oh shit, let's go. Put down the Q. Oh, the triple concoction. We go ahead and dunk him down. Go ahead and work on the Dragon Knight. Get a few more hits in on him. The Phantom Assassin leaves. And just literally gives up on the game. And then there is the Tinker. We activate our W again, and you can see the damage output. It's just real, man. Like, you just hurt really fucking bad. We get the ultra kill, getting chased down now by the Barafoon, but it should be alright for the time being. Axe is still trying to fight. He doesn't quite manage to get the dunk here, and he's not gonna be able to get the kill. But yeah, and at this point the Phantom Assassin literally abandons. And that would be the first game. This is the special thing about this video. We're gonna do 2 games, because I had a similar situation twice in a row where I was playing the same build, where I kind of like started fighting early on and then one guy abandoned. So let's go ahead and get into the second game. So we're going into the second game. I'm yet again playing Alchemist. I'm yet again going into the mid lane. I'm yet again gonna do the same build. I wasn't really sure whether or not I should upload these games. Well, I was kind of sure that I shouldn't just on their own, but seeing as the same thing happened twice in a row, I thought that was kind of amusing. I hope you guys don't mind. I hope you find this enjoyable as well, but I mean, you let me know, right? Leave a comment about that. But we just won that first game right afterwards. Like, that's what happened. Like, you didn't miss anything. The Phantom Assassin left, she abandoned, and we won about 2 minutes later with all of them abandoning. So, again, you aren't missing anything there. But I just kind of wanted to, like, you know, show that game anyway. So, in this match, we are going to be doing the same strategy, right? And you'll get to see it in action again a little bit more than in the first game. Now, something I want to really, like, emphasize at this point is this strategy is really supposed to be powerful in the early game, right? Like, that's its strength. It is more of a supporting core strat. Something people really don't seem to understand. Something people often, well, misunderstand, I guess, is that as a core, which is just a guy that gets farmed, that's what core means, right? Core doesn't mean you're playing this hero. Core doesn't mean you're buying these items. Core just means you are the person getting money. That's all it means, right? Now, as a core, you can be playing more of a supporting role for your other cores. Right, so for example, Darkseer is often played as a supporting core. In fact, the offlane most of the time is actually played as a supporting core. You can play heroes like Abaddon or Brewmaster really, really well as supporting cores. What does that mean? You get supporting items that enable your other big carry. So in this game we have a Phantom Assassin, for example, right? So the whole Medallion, Solar Crest, Azul Cuirass, like that entire strategy, that build is going to make her powerful. Not so much us. We're going to have an impact, that's for sure. We're going to deal damage, that's for sure. We're not going to run around one-shotting everything. Later on in the match, early game, we can really apply some pressure, and that's kind of the point. But later on, the main purpose is really to just enable your other heroes, right? So that's the important thing to keep in mind there. Anyway, there is the Invoker just kind of going in on me. I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and trade hits. I'm not afraid. Sunstrike comes out. I tried to dodge it. I almost get it, which was a little bit annoying. I didn't quite get that. But it happens, I suppose, right? Like, yeah. Just Invoker managed to get it. And then I skill my W because I'm like, okay, this guy is an Invoker player. What he's gonna do, he's gonna run around with 2 HP because he thinks he's the best player in the fucking world and he can do that. And then once he shows up in the lane again, I'm gonna click W and kill him. And he shows up in lane again, and I click W and kill him. And I actually managed to get first blood with my Alchemist on an Invoker in the mid lane. Which was quite amusing to me, admittedly. I was having a good time there. That was nice, yeah. Definitely felt good. But, yeah, so just going back to farming, go ahead and get my bottle. Right, and it is gonna be a bottle here. Why a bottle? Well, the point of the bottle is really to make it so we have Sunstrike. Was a little bit scary. I was thinking about maybe going back in there. I do have my Mango. At the same time, it didn't really seem like it was going to work that well, so decided to stay away. Don't want to mess with the Bloodseeker and the Invoker all at once. That seems risky. But as I was saying, with the bottle, bottle is an item that really works well with roaming around the map. By the way, right there, I had one of my coughing fits. That's why I was just standing there for a bit, just so you know. Right, like, that's just something that I have to deal with right now. But it's getting better, as I already mentioned. It's getting a lot better. But the thing is just that bottle is an item that works really well if you're moving around the map a lot. Because there's runes everywhere, you can constantly refill and all of that. While an item like, for example, Soul Ring works better if you are static. If you're just using the same abilities over and over again, you just want to sustain yourself, not really mess with anybody else. That's why I'm saying get a bottle if you're going for this kind of build. Yeah, by the way, if you enjoyed the video so far, don't forget to leave a rating on the video. It will definitely be fantastic. It will be really nice. And let me know, again, what you think of this. Hope this is okay. I don't know. I wanted to try it. So, you know, level 4 now. I'm just gonna keep spamming my Acid Spray. Acid Spray is still annoying, right? It's nowhere near as strong as it used to be, but it's not pretty bad. It is still powerful. And there's an invisibility there. So that invisibility had me thinking. I'm like, oh man, I want to go for that Invoker. I want to go for that Invoker. Damn, I want to kill that guy. But at the same time, it just seemed like such a risky idea. Alright, but I got my little creep coming in from the back, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe we can do this. I mean, the guy's taking a lot of damage, but then there's a Fissure coming out. Like, okay, this guy's gonna be a moron again, and he's gonna stick around with half HP. I just made that prediction. I didn't see him, but I'm just like, oh, there he is, there he is. Okay, let's go, let's go. No! Lucky son of a bitch. That was not planned. He had no idea I was there. He had no idea he was there. And he just moved perfectly into Fog of War, dodging me and not getting killed. That was actually just very convenient for him. Oh well, mistakes were made from my end. I could have thrown it a little bit earlier, but I just didn't see a need for it because it just didn't seem like he would be playing in a way that is optimal to dodge it because he had no idea I was there doing that. Right? So it's kind of unfortunate, but what can you do? Oh well, I'll go ahead and just put down the acid spray again, continue farming. This game I'm going to go for the face boots over the treads. I think both have their merits. Treads is probably better, but I just felt like going face boots this game. Alright, I wanted to try it, I wanted to see how it plays out. Now that I have tried it, I'm more of a fan of the treads. I feel like the face boots aren't necessary. You know, you already move pretty quickly, you have a stun. It's not needed. So there's a bit of a fight up at the top. For now, we're just gonna continue grinding. Let me tell you what I've been doing. First of all, I've been continuing work on my map. I'll showcase my map eventually. Well, I already showed it off a little bit, but you know, I'll show some more of it once I'm probably done, because I finished up all, like most of the really big difficult parts, and now it's just like filling in the leftovers, I suppose. Right? But I have been watching movies. And what I've been doing is, well, I first started off just watching movies I was interested in. But Netflix really quickly ran out of that. Like, turns out there aren't that many movies I'm interested in on Netflix. So what I started doing is I just started watching everything in the fantasy category. Fantasy and sci-fi. Really anything I could find. And the reason for that was pretty simple. I just wanted to, yeah, if he had stayed, if I had hit him with that while he was still in the acid spray, I could have killed him, but oh well. But my point there is really, I just want to learn as much about fiction as in that kind of realm as I can, because I find it really interesting, and it's really helpful for like world building, which is kind of what I'm doing, right? Like, again, I've been working on my map. So I'm just like casually watching these movies. And I actually only really want to talk about one of them. I watched John Carter today. And when John Carter got released, I remember seeing like its posters everywhere. And I was like, this looks boring. Right? But I ended up watching it. And honestly, the movie is not amazing. It's a fine movie, right? It is not the greatest movie I have ever seen by any means, though. Right? It's okay. However, and this is the big thing, and this is what I really liked about it, it was unique, right? I think John Carter's a really old story, actually, right? It was written before we had established all of our usual, all of our like common sci-fi and fantasy stuff. And as such, it has some really interesting story elements, and I quite enjoyed that. So, you know, like, I can actually recommend John Carter. If you are looking for an amazing story or anything like that, in that scenario, go watch something else. But if you're just looking for a world that is quite interesting, quite unique, and you haven't necessarily seen like this before, John Carter is a good choice there. Yeah, I lost vision of the guy there. This ended up being a really awkward situation. We get the quick kill, and then I'm like, oh, fuck. There's no way I can TP out of this. I'm just gonna die. Yeah, like, against Earthshaker, I can't TP, right? Against Bloodseeker, you would want to TP, but nah, there was just no way. So I decided to just fight it out until I die, right? Like, sometimes that's just what you gotta do. I'm checking on my Phantom Assassin here. She doesn't really have that much yet, which is a bit disappointing. If we look at net worth here, she is actually second highest in the game, but it's not great net worth at this stage. But neither is mine, so who am I to complain? Right, like, my net worth isn't spectacular either. Although you gotta keep in mind, right, I'm not... You can't expect, like, one of the usual Alchemist net worths off of me, simply because I am not playing the super hardcore farming Alchemist build. Right, I only have 1 point into my E. So, we've got 3 points into the W now. Time to continue pushing up here. And then we're gonna go fight again. I did manage to get a kill on the Luna. I died for that, but honestly, while that sucks, it could be worse. Like, it's one of those things where I'm just like, okay, I'm unhappy about this, but I could be unhappier. Alright, it is fine. I'll take the kill. Gonna go ahead and grab the bounty really quick. I'm like, okay, wait, she's hiding in a tree somewhere. Oh yeah, there she is. Alright, let's go in on this. There is our Earthshaker attacking me. I fuck up the Luna really quick. The creeps block me in, sadly, which is very unfortunate. And I have to run past this. So I just walk over here, and I start healing up. You can use the bottle while ruptured as long as you're not moving, because it doesn't actually deal any damage. And then I see, oh wait, there's still an Earthshaker. Well, fuck, let's go, right? I'm not afraid. Go ahead and put down that, and you see, oh, the burst. That hurts so good. Right, you just burst him down like it's nothing. I know I have enough money for my Solar Crest, and I'm just, I could go Solar Crest, I could go something else. But I guess for now I'm gonna be going for the Solar Crest, because Solar Crest is the best crest. Alright, base crest. So I go ahead and get myself that thing. It's a strong item. Reduces armor by 10. Right, so with -7 from the Q, we are now at -17. We use our W. Oh, that hurts. I see, okay, there's an Invoker there. It's kind of a little bit spooky. I kind of want to go in on that. Right, let's go. Let's go. And then let's see, oh shit, there's a bit of a different encounter up there. So let's go and deal with that. Put down the acid spray, put down the W, get the max. Boom. Did you see that? That guy got fucked up good. And I got Luna ultimated and die. This is unfortunate again. Right, but you saw right there, like that Bloodseeker with the Q and the W, like not W, but the Solar Crest on him. My god, he just took so much damage from the Unstable Concoction. That was like, what, 60-70% of his HP pool? With one spell. That is not even an ultimate. And that's kind of what I mean. It's just like, oh yeah, that really hurts. Now imagine how much every single right click hurts at this point. So this fight is still going on, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna be back alive in a second. Oh, you better believe I'm coming back into this. So I TP in, I'm ready to go. Alright, I want to go, and I see there's a, what's her face? A deer lady, and I go ahead and heal her up. Activate my W, looking for the Bloodseeker. I'm just hoping to shoot this thing, and I managed to land it. Sadly, do not get the minus armor beforehand, but he still gets stunned forever. And I managed to get the kill anyway. Right, at that point it didn't really matter whether or not I get the minus armor as long as I just connect with the stun. There were plenty of heroes there to secure that kill. So time to start pushing. With Solar Crest I've actually become really tanky, right? You can see I have 13 armor, I've got 20% evasion.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart. The Dire might want to mine their top tower. Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
Sorry.
Somebody's cooking. 2 down. The Dire
Whew.
mine their top tower. Dire's
Okay.
top tower's down.
We get some kills. But some... I really mean the Clockworker. And this right here is just me screwing up. Give me 1 second.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
It's a really cool encounter right here. So, I have my W brewing. I managed to connect on 2 of them. I do get the Solar Crest beforehand, so she takes massive damage. Put down the Q. Phantom Assassin comes in. Kill that guy. Clockwork is standing inside of the acid spray, as well as being affected by the Solar Crest, and he just gets obliterated. And then there is the Earthshaker. Put down the Solar Crest. Nuke him. Nuke him into oblivion. And now I'm being chased down by this Invoker. Now, I do know Invoker doesn't have a lot of movement speed. This guy is not a Vex Invoker. So I should actually be able to just outrun him. I run, dodge the Sunstrike, turn around. At this point I know I can just kill this guy. Because I do so much damage in that scenario. So I turn around and kill him. Because fuck Invoker, right? But yeah, I just turn around really quick, throw down the Solar Crest on him as well as the Q, and then blast him into nothingness with my W. Get that kill really quick, and you can really see, this is what I mean, right? Like, there is some serious power behind this build. This is all I'm trying to showcase. I'm not trying to tell you this is the best build in the world. It's not. Yes, Alchemist is much worse now than he used to be, but he was so strong. Right? He was like super, super strong. And I think he was so strong that even after all of the nerfs, there is still a viable build left behind. And then Bloodseeker just leaves. Yeah. Bloodseeker just goes and abandons the game. There is an Earthshaker, so I go ahead and kind of try to chase him down, put down my Solar Crest on him again. The stun connects, does a lot of damage. The poor guy should die here. Just a few more right clicks are going to do it. Although I'm actually kind of struggling to get those few right clicks in, and he blinks away. So I don't think I actually end up getting that kill, no. But yeah, that about sums it up. From here on out, it is just a matter of closing out this game as well. As much as the game was even, there's actually no way, you know, a team can win 4 versus 5. If you look at the replay, it does take a while. But that's just because our pushing isn't really super fast. And we ended up taking some silly fights and such. But this game wasn't really interesting in the way that they ever really had a chance. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. We end up winning this one as well pretty damn easily. I just wanted to kind of showcase this build. I hope this was somewhat interesting, at least a little bit. You let me know. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a rating. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.